Shalom. Before I get this lesson started, all praises, honor, and glory due unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to all the sincere believers out there listening and learning. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So just back in the news with a few topics I want to touch on briefly. So what happened earlier today, Facebook and Instagram was down. They was saying that it was an outage. A lot of people couldn't log in. The service was down. So we seen a few weeks ago what happened with the AT&T outage. People didn't have service for hours, most of the day. Then the service came back on. And you have to understand that we're in a time where there's a heavy censorship campaign that is ongoing. Really, you can't even call it a campaign. This is a war on the truth, or what they would call misinfo. So they've already been talking about it. The information is out there that Esau, Edom, the powers that be, the elites, they're going to come down and eradicate freedom of speech. And on these social media platforms, there is freedom of speech. People are pretty much free to say what they want to say, but in a very short time, that's going to be non-existent. You see, your First Amendment right is going to be taken away, and they're going to do it by chaos. You see, so this is just one more thing to let you know how close we are to the end of all things, man. Like, Esau, he knows he has a short time, so he's moving in warp speed. He's moving in warp speed, man. He doesn't have the time to play around. This devil really about to come down with some great wrath. It says, at the peak of the problem, more than 570 Facebook users and more than 90,000 Instagram users were reporting issues on downdetector.com. Meta's social media platforms are back up Tuesday after a widespread outage appeared to block thousands of users from logging onto their accounts. Facebook and Meta users started seeing problems around 10 a.m. Eastern Time, based on reports to Down Detector, a site that tracks online glitches. The issues peaked with more than 570,000 Facebook users and more than 90,000 Instagram users reporting outages at roughly 10:30 a.m. The total number of people affected probably was higher because Down Detector tracks only users who take the time to file a report on the site. Some users found that when they tried to log on to those social media networks, they were told their passwords didn't work. Many users got a message saying they had entered an incorrect password, leading them to believe incorrectly that the problem was on their end rather than with Meta. Exactly. So the people that run these platforms, they know what's going on. See, right now they're in a test run mode, okay? And we know that majority of these people out here cannot live without social media. Social media is pretty much their whole life. You know what I'm saying? Because on social media, you can be who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make it look good. You can show, glitz it up, make it look like you live in a glamorous life, or that you really got motion going on that you really don't have. But that's how it is in this world. This is a fake fantasy world, man. And social media just adds to these people's delusion. So when these platforms do go down, a lot of people is going to bug out. They're going to lose their mind because, many people, especially the younger generation, have grown up with social media. So not having it is like not breathing. Not having social media is like not eating food. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so much a part of people's lives now to where they wouldn't know how to interact or function without it. But nonetheless, these are the days that we're in, okay? Esau, he's going to come down with that great wrath, you see, and a part of that great wrath is cutting off information. Okay, which once again, these certain platforms, although they are used for folly, they are used to push folly and BS. There's also a lot of knowledge and information on these platforms as well if you look for it. But yeah, Esau, just know that he's coming for the internet. Just know that your freedom of speech is hey, brother's been bringing it out. I brought it out last night in an article how they're passing these certain bills. They're looking to incriminate and incarcerate anyone that speaks against a certain narrative that's being pushed right now. All right. So reading on with this, my first Salakia. Matter of fact, did I read? Okay, I didn't read that. My first concern was whether my account was secure. Facebook user Spencer Ross said, since I couldn't seem to change my password, I was then concerned if maybe there was a two-factor authentication hack as well. Meta spokesman Andy Stone posted on X shortly before 11 a.m. Tuesday, we're aware people are having trouble accessing our services. We are working on this now. And this the Facebook user, he said that his first concern was whether his account was secure. And really all the information that people put about themselves on the social media, these platforms have access to that. They may tell you that it's confidential, no one will know except you, but they're collecting all that data. They're collecting all the data, because people like to post where they go and, drop their location here and stuff like that. So they keeping tabs on all that. You see? So when they do go to shut down the internet, it's really going to blindside a lot of people, man, because, all this time they've been gathering up, all the information basically to spy on people, to get to know what you like, to get to know what you dislike, to get to know your, thought process, and you'll even notice that when you go on Google or you go on YouTube or Instagram, whatever, you have a explore page, okay, where they'll give you suggestions and recommendations based on the content that you consume on these platforms. So that shows you what? That they're collecting information and data on you. For what purpose? Because eventually they're going to use it against you. Okay, even the men of the Lord, the platforms that we're on, that's going to be used by Esau as a testimony against us, to demonize us, to say, look, he said this and he said that, and they was talking about often, Edomites or so-called white people, or they were speaking badly about the other nations. You know what I'm saying? They already have all the information that they need to get, but you know what? It is what it is, man, because really the Lord set these platforms up to be used as a medium to spread the truth. Of course, Esau, he about to shut it down, which, lets us know that the time for, this ministry is coming to an end, very, very rapidly. So that was, that happened earlier today. The service is back on, what I'm saying? But hey, just like AT&T, don't be surprised if one day you try to go on Google and search something and it don't work, but just know that that's this devil, man. He's playing around with stuff. He's tweaking stuff, and ultimately he's about to shut down, all these mediums of communication. All right. Because there is going to be a blackout as well. Don't forget about that. So let's move on here to this People's Voice.tv article. Elon Musk says the global elites are planning another false flag worse than 9/11. Now, 9/11 was pretty bad. 9/11, when that happened, pretty much that was a defining moment in American and world history. Like after 9/11, the whole world changed, you see? So if Elon Musk, of all people, is telling you that there's about to be another false flag, it's like a false flag worse than 9/11, you should take heed to what he's saying, because this dude, we know that he's plugged in, like we know that he's in those elite circles, so if he's blowing the whistle, then it'd be best to take heed to it. So it says here, ex-owner Elon Musk has warned that the deep state, Now, deep state is basically a shadow government, meaning that the people that you see put to the forefront, like Joe Biden or these certain governors or, whoever it may be within politics and government, they're not really running anything. They're just, put out there as uh, what's the word? For lack of a better term, I'll just say that they're put out there as pawns, as a frontman for who's really running the show. Okay, which are who? The world banking elites, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds. We know the names. So this deep state are planning to commit another false flag 911 style attack against America that will leave the country beyond repair. You know what I'm saying? And they already have one of the biggest false flag operations going on right now. What's going on with that southern border? All these migrants coming up in here, or what they call migrants, but all these military age men of all different nationalities coming into America, which are really paid mercenaries, okay? Because they've been sent here to, carry out a task. Many of them are going to join the U.S. military to fight in these upcoming wars, but also many of them are sleeper cells as well. They've snuck into America. They've come here in order to be agent provocateurs of chaos, and they're being paid handsomely by the U.S. government. You see, but he says that this next false flag is going to leave America beyond repair. Okay, so this is pretty much the end of America Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? This place about to go out with a bang. And everything that you're seeing in the news right now, every single day just confirms that even more. In a post on X, Musk declared this administration is both importing voters and creating a national security threat from unvetted illegal immigrants. Okay, and this false flag, what I'm saying, which it's not just going to be one false flag, it's going to be many false flags. Okay, like you're going to have multiple false flags happen in these major cities, especially these sanctuary cities where these quote unquote migrants are at, and it's going to be a catalyst to cause fear. People are going to be uncertain, they're going to be afraid, you see, and that's going to be a cause for what? We need to implement new measures. We need to crack down on security. We need to impose a digital ID so that we know who's who, so that if you want to get into a city, we know who's coming in. And if you want to go out, we know who's leaving. You know what I'm saying? This is all a part of this, fourth industrial revolution, this digital technocracy that these devils are setting up. And they're going to bring it in by way of producing false flags. You see? Musk posted a link to a Daily Mail article covering an admission from the White House that thousands of illegal immigrants from foreign countries were flown into at least 43 different American airports from January through December 2023. Now, notice how we didn't really get the news of these migrants coming over here until later on in the year, you see, but they've been, flying these people in since January, saying even before that, I wouldn't be surprised if they was, bringing these people in since when the pandemic first started, saying, but you didn't really hear nothing about it until like, August, September, around that time last year, saying, but the reports are out that this thing been going on since at least January, all right. Modernity News reports, he added, it is highly probable that the groundwork is being laid for something far worse than 911. Just a matter of time, Musk concluded. So this is he put this post up on X here. It says, this administration is both importing voters and creating a national security threat. And you know what? I saw something earlier about that, to where people were saying that it's rumors, which could very well be true, that these quote unquote migrants that are coming over the borders, they're going to be used to disrupt the 2024 election. It's also rumors going around that they trying to assassinate Trump. You know what I'm saying? So look, man, And in the case that Trump does get assassinated or something happen to him, you already know what's gonna come of that. Okay, because look, you got them right wing Edomites. They already ready to go guns blazing. You see what I'm saying? So if Trump, if something do happen to Trump, you already know what's gonna happen, man. Like all these red states, there may very well be seditions. Okay, like states might, may very well separate from the union, just like it did during the first Civil War. And then from that, all hell's gonna break loose. So we know this is an election year. They've been broadcasting a lot of stuff like predictive programming. So we just gotta wait and see what happens. But we know that things is gonna get worse before they get better, and that's according to biblical prophecy. So creating a national security threat from unvetted illegal immigrants. It is highly probable. Slovakia. So this is the post from the Daily Mail. Biden administration admits flying 320,000 migrants secretly into the U.S. to reduce the number of crossings at the border has national security vulnerabilities. So these devils, they're all complicit in what's going on. And you still have people asking questions like, why would they do this? Like, to what end is this being done? Well, they still seem to not understand that there's an agenda that is actively at work right now. That there is a new order being set up. And you see, in order to bring in a new order, the old order must first be taken down. So all of the events that you're seeing take place in America and worldwide, this is to prep and set up for this NWO that these devils want to bring. You know what I'm saying? But it is, these devils are very blatant. Like they're not even trying to hide it no more. Okay, Biden administration admits, so they openly admitted to flying these people in. and I seen one video where, them migrants, man, they was flying first class. You see? They was flying in first class, man. So they traveling in style. They traveling in luxury. All right, while the average American can't even afford plane tickets somewhere. You see? Details of the secret Biden program were exposed by a Freedom of Information lawsuit that was first reported by journalist Todd Bensman of the Center for Immigration Studies. The effort forced the administration to admit that it had overseen the flights containing at least 320,000 migrants into the U.S. in an attempt to reduce the number of crossings at the border. Officials have refused to provide any details of who was flown and to where, with lawyers for the administration's immigration agencies claiming that revealing the locations of where the illegals are could create national security, quote unquote, vulnerabilities and prompt bad actors to take advantage. And what does that really mean? Who are these bad actors? What kind of national security vulnerability is going to be caused by this? The national security of the United States is already vulnerable. So by bringing in more people over the border, all you're doing is making it more vulnerable. You see, so these devils don't make no sense, man. But, this is the narrative that they're pushing. This is the narrative that they're giving you, and they want you to swallow it down. You see? Despite repeatedly stating the border was secure and the conservative claims of an open border were false, the Biden administration was directly transporting illegal immigrants into the country. In 2022, it was also revealed that the administration was transporting illegal immigrants around the country on flights in the dead of the night. You see that? So I didn't even read this far into the article, but like I just said, they said since at least January of 2023, but this has been going on way before that, Like I really would not be surprised if this been going on like since the start of the pandemic. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all, because that's how these devils get down, Yeah, so they saying that they transporting these illegal immigrants on flights in the dead of the night, man. So while everybody's asleep, nobody's watching, the devil is making his moves. Elon Musk has reportedly warned that unchecked illegal immigration is being facilitated by the Biden government in an effort to create a one-party state. So like I said, they matter of fact, let me go to it real quick. Go here. FBI claims Iranian spy. Now, this devil, man, like, who knows? Because they say it's an Iranian spy. Like, how would an Iranian spy be in the United States and even have access to get at Trump? You see? But we know they got to have a boogeyman, and we know that Iran is a boogeyman for America, because America got beef with Iran. They want to take Iran out the way. They want to justify war with Iran. So if anything was to happen to Trump, they're going to say, oh, it was an Iranian spy. Now we got to go at Iran for taking out one of our political leaders. You know what I'm saying? And of course, that would galvanize the people as well to go to war with Iran, for those that don't know no better. So look, man, you can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. But anyway, it appears the deep state, okay, which again, this is really who all this is coming from. This is coming from the deep state, okay? This is all set up. It's all orchestrated. It's all planned. Are now initiating Plan B, also known as the plot to remove President Donald Trump from the November election by any means necessary. We can get a little bit of this. According to the FBI, an Iranian intelligence officer is on the loose. You can't make this up, man. So there's a high level, allegedly, there's a high level Iranian intelligence officer, and he's on the loose in the U.S., and y'all can't find him. But let you try to evade the IRS and not pay your taxes, they gonna find your ass quick. Let you miss a car note payment. They gonna find you quick. Matter of fact, they gonna come to your house in the middle of the night and snatch your car right up. But there's a dangerous Iranian intelligence officer on the loose in the United States, and they don't know where he's at. Come on now. And is allegedly plotting the assassination of current and former U.S. government officials, including Trump, in a quote-unquote revenge operation motivated by the killing of former Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps commander Qasem Soleimani under the Trump administration in 2020. And I remember doing a lesson on the border situation, right? And they were saying, as they put it in the article, that there was special interest aliens coming over the border, and they had caught some Iranian special interest aliens, but they released them back into America. So what is this really all about? And all this is allegedly, because like I said, they got to have a boogeyman. But even if we just take it at face value, if you caught some Iranian, which, Iran is an enemy of the United States. So if you caught Iranian special interest aliens coming over the border, then you detain them. Who knows what they did, if they questioned them or if they just detained them for a brief moment and let them go. But why would you release them back into the American population? Why would you do this? Now, they're saying that an Iranian spy, well, if these Iranian spies are here in America, the U.S. government knows about it. You see, so that's why I say, it's just me speaking as a man, that all this is set up. It's not really going to be Iran. This hit might come from the American government directly. It might come from the deep state, and then they'll just blame Iran and say, oh yeah, well, Iran did it, but that's how this devil get down. But anyway, this is all the stuff you got going on today's time, man. Stuff about to get real. So let's go here to 2 Ezra 5 and verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. You know what I'm saying? And going back to what Elon Musk was saying about that false flag that's going to be greater than even 911. Well, a lot of people are going to be taken in a great number, physically and also mentally, man. Because when people see these things that are going to happen on the earth, they're going to be in a state of fear. It tells you about that in Luke 21. You know what I'm saying? Seeing those things coming upon the earth, men's hearts shall fail them for fear. So we're in a time of great insurrection, great insecurity. It's going to be a lot of death and fear that's going to envelop the earth. Shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden. Why is that? Because there's going to come a time where, according to Amos 8 and 11, Salakia, where there's going to be a famine of hearing the words of prophecy. There's going to be a famine of hearing the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So right now, the way of truth is out being proclaimed by the prophets. Okay, but the time is coming where the way of truth is going to be once again hidden from the earth. Okay, like it was before. And then what's going to happen in the land shall be barren of faith, which really the land is already barren of faith already, but it's going to be even worse. Okay, once this internet is shut down. Okay, once Esau put them laws in place to ban the preaching of the Bible, to take away your First Amendment right. How much more then? How much more dark and barren of faith is the land going to be at that point? You see, verse 2, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And the land that thou seest now to have root shalt thou see wasted suddenly. But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. You see? So look, man, great confusion is coming to the earth. You see? Verse 7, and the Sodomite sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. Verse 8, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again. And the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. So confusion, man. Okay, because people are already not watching and paying attention for what's going on. So when these false flags and stuff start blowing up, and you start seeing people just drop dead all of a sudden, people are going to be in a state of perplexity and confusion because they wasn't watching. Okay, they were given over unto their own strong delusion because they love not the truth. Okay, because while the truth was out, people did not accept. People didn't consider it and take heed and seek to repent. They stayed in this world because they love this world. Well, hey, if you love this world, you're gonna die with it. Okay, in this world, the fashion of it is passing away swiftly. 2nd Ezra 15. We can close out on this. It says, matter of fact, let me start at 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring upon it. Now, this Egypt is not speaking about ancient Egypt, because when you read up, it says that the Lord, he should bring plagues upon Egypt as before. So this is not talking about the Egypt that is in the land of Ham, that's in Africa. This is talking about America, okay? Mainly the beast system, but, mainly America, okay? It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful constellation, which that denotes what? That denotes the judgment of the Lord coming upon the earth. Okay, which, famine is going to come. The food is going to dry up. Hyperinflation is going to set in. People are going to lose jobs. Homicides and suicides are going to be at an all-time high. You're also going to have civil war going on. Then you're going to have a draft come back for war. Okay, in which many young military-aged men are going to be taken and thrown on the front lines. Okay, so this is going to be a time that has never been seen before, going back to Jeremiah 30 and 7. the time of Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation to come upon the earth. Everybody's about to be tried. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now, like I said, if something happened to Trump, you're gonna see major seditions arise. Okay, make no doubt about it. People are already in that spirit. But the Lord is gonna intensify it, and He's gonna amplify that spirit of sedition and hatred. Okay, as the scriptures say, that Egyptian is set against Egyptian. So, we're living through the end of an empire. America is at the end of the road. Esau, he's at the end of the road. 2/3 Israelites, they're at the end of the road, man. We about to get up out of here. The Lord is shortening the days for the sake of the elect. Because if He didn't, as it is written, no flesh will be saved. You see, verse 17, man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So, like I also mentioned earlier, these false flags, there's going to be multiple false flags popping off in many different cities around America, you see? And this is all going to come about because of what? People are proud, okay? They've lived too high on the hog in America for too long. The prophets was out here trying to tell you what's going on, trying to tell you to repent. You ain't want to hear it. Which ultimately that goes back to pride, because you think that you know better than the Most High. You see, you don't. People scoff at the prophets. People view our words as grievous or something to not be taken seriously. But hey, people gonna find out real soon. What we was talking about. All right. But yeah, these cities are gonna be troubled. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. Okay, which that goes into famine, which a famine, they've been talking about that as well. Famine is being prepared. Look at that fire that happened in Texas just the other day. Burned up, millions of acres of farmland. Okay, and a lot of livestock was, deleted as well. And they're not talking about it in the mainstream, but the food plants are also burning down too. That's still going on. You see, so if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we already know what time we in. The Lord is coming back real soon. You know what I'm saying? So we're supposed to be circumspect, be watching for the signs of the times. You know what I'm saying? So that we can, redeem ourselves from this hour of evil. And pray that we be kept from the said evils to come. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully, it was edifying and informative through the Rakakadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect.